Hello all. Welcome to the add-on course in criminology and forensic science. I would be one of your resource persons. My name is Dr.SWETHA Thomas. I'm an assistant professor at Department of Criminology and Police Science, St.Thomas College. So let's move on to the first topic of the week, which is concept and definition of criminology and crime. Before we try to understand the field of criminology, it is important to understand what is the meaning or definition of the term criminology as well as the term crime. So let's move on to that topic. So what exactly is crime? Before defining crimes, it is important to understand there are few essential constituents or elements of crime. So the first one is that crime is an act or omission which is forbidden or commanded by the law. For every society or a state, there are set of rules, regulations, laws that are to be followed by everyone for the peace of the land, right? So if a person is committing an act against that law, that is called as crime. So what exactly happens once that crime is committed? In order to prevent that particular violation, a punishment is sanctioned. So that is the second element, that is violation prevented by sanction of punishment. And what exactly is the third one? The wrongdoer who is being punished is done so or is provided that sanction of punishment only after following a particular procedure which is being established by the law. So these are the three important essential constituents of crime that everyone has to remember before defining crime or getting to know what crime exactly is. So what is crime or how would you define crime? Crime is a behavior either by act or omission which is defined by a statutory or common law as deserving of punishment or penalty. So with this, it is clearly understood that crime is an act or omission that is committed against the laws of a particular place or a society. So what exactly would criminology mean? Or what is the definition of criminology? Before trying to understand the definition, it is important to know how this particular terminology, criminology, came into existence. Okay, so the term criminology was coined by Raffaele Garofalo, who was an Italian professor, and he coined this particular term in 1885. Around the same time, the same terminology in a different accent, as in French, it was termed by Paul Topinado. These both are very important in terming of the term in trying to term criminology. Most importantly, it is always referred to Raffaele Garofalo. What is the etymological definition of criminology? It is derived from the Latin word crimen, which means accusation, and logia, which means scientific approach to studying criminal behavior. The word accusation or crimen is derived from the Latin and logia from Greek. So the term criminology is being derived from both Latin as well as Greek. So how would you define it? Criminology is a body of knowledge regarding crime as a social phenomena. It includes within its scope the process of making laws, of breaking of laws, and of reaction towards breaking of laws. So, what exactly would be making of laws? So, in criminology, you try to understand what are the various laws, why that particular law is made, how is it made, etc. Next is breaking of laws. Why is a person breaking a particular law? What are the factors? What are the causal factors that led a person to break a particular law of the land? And finally, how the society as well as how does that particular person react towards the breaking of laws? So if someone asks you in simple terms what criminology is, you would say it is making of laws, breaking of laws, and reaction towards the breaking of laws. This is one of the most important definitions which has been provided by Edwin Sutherland and Donald Cressy. Most of the criminologists or criminology students, if you ask them what criminology is, they would provide you with this particular definition. Let's look into a slighter, simple form of definition, which is provided by Professor Kenny. Criminology is a branch of criminal science which deals with crime causation, analysis, and prevention of crime. So, what exactly is criminology? You try to look at the causal factors of crime, you try to analyze those particular causations and provide various preventive methods so that this any particular type of crime can be controlled over a period of time. So this is what criminology basically means. You try to study what crime is, you try to study what are the causal factors of crime and how crime as such can be prevented. Criminology is a branch of knowledge which is concerned with those particular contexts of human behavior which are prohibited by the society. So it is a branch of knowledge which tries to study the human behavior or particular contexts of human behavior which are prohibited by the society or which are considered to be abnormal. Okay, so what is the purpose of this branch of knowledge? It is to analyze the different aspects of crime and devise effective measures for treatment of criminals to bring about their resocialization and rehabilitation in the community. So, with this particular point, it is clearly understood that every person who's studying criminology, they try to analyze the various aspects of crime. They try to provide effective measures so that it helps in the treatment of criminals in helping them to rehabilitate and re-socialize into the community. Thus, criminology as a branch of knowledge has a practical utility in so far as it aims to bring about the welfare of the community as a whole. So, if you ask anyone what criminology does as a whole, it tries to bring about welfare of the community by trying to understand why certain human behaviors are against the laws of the land, why a person commits that particular act, and how it can be prevented, and how that particular person can be rehabilitated. Lastly, let's look into what is the nature of criminology. So, as mentioned earlier, criminology is an interdisciplinary field of subject study which involves scholars and practitioners representing a wide range of behavioral and social sciences as well as numerous natural sciences. So, criminology as such is not a sole disciplinary a discipline as such, but it is a combination, amalgamation of various practitioners and scholars from various fields like sociology, criminal justice, political science, psychology, economics, natural sciences, etc. So basically, in sociology, you study the aspects of society, how a society functions, etc. In a similar way, criminology tends to look into why a particular person behaves totally different, why they do not follow the law or they try to commit an act which is against the law. What are the causal factors? How that person would be treated in criminal justice system? How can they be rehabilitated? What are the various psychological or other support systems that can be provided in rehabilitating a criminal? All of this is being studied in criminology. So when you try to study criminology as such, we tend to look into what are the causal factors of crime, how the various pillars of our criminal justice system, that is the police, the law, the criminal justice, which includes the lawyers as well as the courts, how the court procedures, and how the final pillar, that is the prison administration, how these three pillars together help in rehabilitation and re-socialization of a criminal. See, the important thing here is that you tend to punish a person not just that they learn that this particular act should not be committed, but also that punishment should be in such a way that they do not commit that act again. Just by providing harsh punishment, it is not necessary that a person would not commit that act again. Okay, rather you try to find out what are the causal factors why that particular person committed that act, and how you can prevent them from committing that particular act. So that is why prison system or the pillars of criminal justice system together try to find what are the various rehabilitation processes or the re-socialization processes for the criminals. So criminology as a discipline tries to understand what are the causal factors of crime, how crime can be prevented, and how a person who has committed that particular crime can be rehabilitated and re-socialized and sent back to the society. So this is the main definition of crime, criminology, and also the main crux in understanding what criminology is. Further topics will be provided in the next sessions. Thank you so much.